Soy Marta Isabel Rojas Cortés, representante legal de la Fundación La Casa sobre la Roca, entidad sin ánimo de lucro creada el 15 de marzo del 2018 en el corregimiento de Chagres, municipio de Jamundí. Un elemento principal del objeto social de la Fundación es la recuperación del patrimonio cultural ancestral afrodescendiente. Por esta razón, el quehacer cultural de la Fundación reside en las actividades artísticas y musicales. La Fundación La Casa sobre la Roca cuenta en la actualidad con una serie de programas de formación dirigidos principalmente a la niñez y a la juventud. Estos son algunos de los programas que ofrecemos. La Escuela de Modelaje Afro, que busca inculcar la importancia de valorar nuestras costumbres con los peinados, vestuarios y maquillajes propios de la cultura afrocolombiana. La Escuela Artística Ancestral, que quiere revivir y rescatar nuestros bailes, los ritmos de jugas y danzas tradicionales ancestrales de nuestra comunidad. La Escuela Gastronómica Ancestral, la cual indaga el conocimiento y la tradición popular para preservar los sabores y saberes de la cocina ancestral. La Escuela Artesanal Ancestral busca fortalecer, capacitar y revivir e incentivar a los artesanos de nuestro corregimiento en la importancia de la conservación de nuestras artesanías. El proyecto de unidades productivas pretende incentivar a la comunidad en la importancia del cultivo y el uso de alimentos sanos para el consumo de la familia y de la generación de ingresos para una mejor calidad de vida. Los programas para niños discapacitados, adultos mayor y madres cabezas de hogar, los cuales pretenden capacitar, orientar e incluir socialmente a todas las personas sin distingo, para que se hagan partícipe de las actividades sociales y culturales y recreativas de nuestro corregimiento. El proyecto de vivienda pretende disminuir el hacinamiento y así mejorar la calidad de vida de la comunidad. De otro lado, queremos destacar la valiosa ayuda monetaria que hemos recibido de parte de la señora Lina Noland, con la cual hemos entregado 100 kits de implementos de aseo a las familias más vulnerables del corregimiento con el propósito de prevenir la propagación del COVID-19. En la Navidad del 2020, en medio de las restricciones y de la ausencia de ayudas a nuestras comunidades, el aporte de la señora Lina Noland fue un apoyo fundamental en la entrega de regalos navideños a la niñez de nuestro corregimiento, al igual que la adquisición de un molino eléctrico. En nombre de la Fundación La Casa sobre la Roca y de la comunidad chagreña, mil y mil gracias a la señora Lina Noland y a su familia por su espíritu de generosidad para con las personas vulnerables de nuestro corregimiento.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. I'm Dr. Jody Baer, and it is my privilege and honor to come to you today as an everyday America's top foundational health coach. Why did we start with Spanish? You're going, Jody, are you going to translate for us? Yes, I'm going to translate in absolute Spanish passion. I know un poquito de Spanish, but that was the Fundación de la Ropa de Chagres in Colombia. And this is one of the 3 charities that we have connected with for the Power of a Woman Ignite Your Life women's event, the one that you see in the background. Why is this important? Because when we get out of ourselves and give to humanity, magic happens. Now, let me tell you, first of all, about the first charity. It is the Cambodia School of Hope through Ignite Publishing. The second is my personal charity, the St. John's Women's Shelter up here in Florida. I can tell you that the women in this refuge have come in from all shapes and sizes, and they want to change their lives, and they have less than a 5% recidivism rate. I have been contributing and following this charity for 15 years. And La Fundación de la Ropa de Chagres, Chagres, I think I got it right. Okay, this organization in Colombia is one of that I've never, ever seen before. They're bringing the elderly that have no one. And then they have orphans that have no one. And the elderly are coming together in society to give their wisdom to the children. As Les Brown says, that children are 40% of our population, but 100% of our future. So this is what these two organizations are about. The third, I'm going to get into in more depth when we have our commercial break with Ignite Publishing. So it is just my honor and privilege to come to you today. If you're just brand new to our TV show, Life's Milkshake Moment. Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be so sweet. What I know is that my background is one of 40 years as health coach and holistic nutritionist, now a PhD in holistic health. I can say that our author, our guest, and our international speaker here this evening talks about controlling your feelings and emotions. Helen Keller said, control your emotions and feelings. And when you control these emotions, as Helen Keller went on, you will never be captive to this and them. Women, we have an emotion a month. We're everywhere. I talked about this last week, but when we can stay in the center of the road, what we do is magic. And I believe this is what our guest here tonight is going to be speaking of. Intuitively, she intuitively feels love in each and every one of her life's milkshake moments. You know me, Jody Baer, a small town girl from Montana. I became a health coach. And yes, I did, for someone else when we socially give out. And I did this for my mother because of what I found and I was able to give in health and healing for her in end-stage cancer. Nearly 3 years length of life, well beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis. Myself, I didn't listen to the warning signs of my body, my emotions, not in my heart. I just did action. And it caught up with me. I spoke on Clubhouse today about yin and yang. How many times? And I was just going to say, this is what we love. I'm going to say, Barbie, I don't see you. Yes, this is the beauty about live TV. I can certainly say that what we have is a beautiful thing. What we have beauty and everything else that we have in our lovely time together is a magical moment. And it'll all come together. Barbie will be here. She will go ahead and come on in her glorious way. I know she will. So I want to get back to my story for right now. And I can say that I overexercised. I did a marathon a month, way too much, taxed my liver. I didn't listen to my emotions. I wasn't intuitive and loving as Barbie talks about in her life. Well, I had a situation with stage 4 melanoma and it nearly took me out. But frankly, it happens many times. Even the cobbler's children don't have shoes. I learned and absolutely integrated in all of my life's milkshake moments that detoxing from the toxins, to live in abundance physically, but listening to the warning signs of my body and to love myself. I'll be speaking about this Saturday right here on KP Media TV. It is events.kpmedia.tv. It's different than right now. It is events.kpmedia.tv. It is from noon Eastern time to 6:30. And when I bring Barbie up, we'll be talking about the absolute amazing bevy of guests. It truly is a life's milkshake moment that I will never forget. Ever. I will say for real, that for me, when you take care of you and your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. Okay, forever. See, the knowledge of our guest gives this kind of hope and healing. What do I say that hope stands for? You hear that? There is hope. There is hope. It stands for heal, to go down into yourself, to go up in opportunity, to come in positivity, and then go out to empower first yourself and then the world. Health isn't something you do, ladies and gentlemen. It's who you are along life's journey. So ready to go with me? And so we are going to be speaking, and we're going to go back to a commercial break here. And we're going to get Barbie up here so we can begin and talk about the spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional, actually all the pillars of what we are going to be manifesting here on our Women's Health event. So let's begin with this before I do and bring Barbie on up. It's absolutely starting with the intuition. It's starting with what it boils down to. And Les Brown says, live life from the hunger of your heart. When you fill your heart with whatever you hunger for, your mind will find a way to achieve your desires. So get ready to achieve your desires, to give it all you've got intuitively and in love and with an emotional guide unlike any other from Barbie Layton after this quick commercial break. And we're back. And I can truthfully say that Barbie Layton is a one-of-a-kind woman. She said that about me the other day. Goodness gracious, a one-of-a-kind woman. Well, you're getting ready to hear from a one-of-a-kind intuitive woman. Barbie is an international best-selling author and speaker. She has traveled the globe. She has gone from the side of being from side stage to main stage in 6 months because of her fan base, because they felt her love, because of who she is in all of her speaking engagements. She earned an MA in spiritual psychology. Isn't that a mouthful? Isn't that a wonderful thing? And yes, she earned this MA from the University of Santa Monica, the renowned university of itself. She's been a part of the Cannes Film Festival. How? Because she was awarded with a documentary on women that were serving life sentences. Didn't I tie this in with the Women's Refuge? Didn't I tie this into going ahead and saying that less than a 5% recidivism rate? Well, she did her part with these women by cataloging and documenting everything that was in Viktor Frankl's work about women that were serving a life sentence. She helps CEOs and individuals. She's a phenomenal coach, a phenomenal woman. They reanimate their dreams and learn how to love themselves. I always go here and here. When you do it together, it just feels right. And that's what Barbie does. Frankly, she is absolutely a one-of-a-kind woman. As she said about me, I'm only going to say, if you spot it, you got it, because she makes a soul print with people, and she helps clear these manifestations and manifest miracles. When you clear the blocks, you can manifest anything you want in your life. She is a part of the second edition of an award-winning, yes, international best-selling book, Women Gone Wild. This stage is ready to get wild, I promise you. She was named to be a part of the staff for Los Angeles Tribune in writing an absolutely amazing weekly column. She is going to be on tour with the Think and Grow Rich tour from the Napoleon Hill Foundation. She has learned how to take control of your feelings and emotions, as I said first. And as my original quote in my next Ignite book, Ignite Wisdom, says, when you can take care of you and your world first, you will have the ability to empower everyone in the world forever. And that is Barbie Layton. And it is my honor and privilege. Miss Barbie, it is wonderful to see you, even on double StreamYard stages. My apologies to our audience, but we are here, we are here, we are here.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Jody. Super excited.
I am super excited. And I can tell you, your introduction just made me excited. Just made me excited because that's what you do. You are just a wow woman. You're a woman of wonder. And I'm so honored that you have come and been a part of my life just recently, for real.
Thank you. And I mean, listening to some of these things back in an intro, you think to yourself, like, did I really do all that kind of stuff? But I think because of the fact that we all had this opportunity, we all had the 24 hours of where everything went down in lockdown. We just had the 2-year anniversary of us being down on lockdown. And it was one of those things where it was a very intentional decision in the sense of where, hey, if the world's going to blow up, am I going to sit around and, like watch Netflix and chill out on the couch? Or am I going to do something better that's going to be able to edify and uplift the world and make myself a better person? And so I just I hit the ground running on March 16th, and I haven't stopped since. And all these miracles have been coming forward, including meeting you and other amazing people that, we're connecting with. So thank you for having me on.
And yes, it has been an amazing 2 years. And what a blessing. What a blessing. Because I always say that 1%ers just make things happen. You are truly that kind of a 1% woman. And I just want to give a little bit of background to our audience here. In the TV show, and my TV show is called Life's Milkshake Moments. You've had many of them, just nice and gooey and lush. Give us a little bit about your early background and how you were just, I believe, undoubtedly called into this spiritual modality of spiritual psychology. Please do.
I think when I was little, I used to see a lot of different things, and I would tell people that I would perceive other things, and they would tell me, no, you can't. I'd be like, okay. So for a long time, I turned a lot of that stuff off. But I always kind of a born performer, somebody that really liked to take, the dramatic. I mean, I like to play with hair pieces and makeup and lashes just like you do. It's just something of where, it's one of those fun things of being a woman, of where you can just every day, it's a brand new palette of art that you can make on yourself. And so I think that was something that was really fun. And I think for me, one of those really big milkshake moments was, I went through a lot of childhood bullying because I was just so different. And I really, was so much more advanced than other people. They really couldn't understand me. And they'll kind of was like, and I wanted to sing and dance and be out there ice skating and doing ballet and all this kind of like, theatrical stuff. But I think that, when you come from a small town, you have a lot of people who just kind of marginalize you, and they make you feel like, like it's that you become the scapegoat for that environment because you've all known each other for so long. But what ended up happening is that I became an exchange student to Austria for a year, and I met a brand new variety of people. And then I found out it wasn't me, because everybody loved me and everybody celebrated me, and I got invited to all the parties, and I was in the back of a lot of Vespas just hanging out with all sorts of people, the preppies, the popular ones, the jocks, you name it. It was just, I had my first boyfriend. It was just all these beautiful things. So to me, I look at that as a milkshake moment in the sense of I had to have that awareness at 16 and 17 that all the things that had happened to me previous to that was because of the constriction of being in a small town. But sometimes when you get out of that pond, I think of it as the ugly duckling story, in the sense of where when you're around a lot of ducks, but you're really a swan, you need to go find your swans. So to me, that was like one huge, huge milkshake moment, because it really told me that who I was in the core, and my beautiful heart that I want to share with people, that it was really, really well received from people who didn't have some sort of a backstory, that a lot of it wasn't even true.
And you definitely are a swan. You have that flowing blonde hair, and isn't it? You think I wanted to sing and dance and be a performer, and you found your voice with that. Literally found your voice in the backyard of Salzburg, Vienna, where I have sung many operas, and the Von Trapp family. So it kind of fits. It kind of fits your MO, Barbie. So I love the part of your bio. I loved it all, by the way, and I even went to my husband, Bob, and I said, you got to hear this. And he goes, wow, you got yourself a guest. So when you can get an endorsement from Dr. Bob Baer, it's a big deal, because he is so not me. He kind of just is very low key. You have to have opposites in life. And so he goes, wow, you got yourself a guest tonight. And he is certainly right. You just exude this even on the screen on StreamYard. And so, this servant heart leader of yours, I want to come back to that, because it's really the truth. I mean, from backstage to 6 months, you're now on the front stage. You are just in demand everywhere, because you even said to me, Jody, I'll be there, but I've got an interview. I mean, that's a woman on a mission, and people are finding you because of your heart. So tell us about this from backstage to main stage, please.
It's so important, to be honest, because I think a lot of the kind of stuff, I call myself a heart-centered conscious entrepreneur. I feel like you're the same thing. JB Owen, it's like, a lot of us are really, we want to share our hearts with other people and elevate the frequency of the people that we're around and we come into contact with. So when the Best You basically had to shut down due to COVID in 2020, I was on the mailing list. I found them through Marissa Peer, through Mindvalley. And ultimately they said, we're going to do this, this virtual expo thing. And nobody had ever done one before. So kudos to Bernardo Moy. It was the very first one that had ever been done. But he said he was very ambitious. Bernardo's very ambitious. He said, we're going to do 5. We're going to do Los Angeles, Dallas, Miami, London, Dubai. And here's the initial price. Do you want to do it? And that point in time, I was just saying yes to everything in the universe. And I was like, done. And they're like, we haven't even done one yet. You want to sign up for all 5? I said, yes, sign me up. Mm-hmm. And they were like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no. And the first one had a lot of glitches and weird people showing up on your Zoom. I mean, it didn't really work back in July, August. It wasn't really gelled yet. But by the same token, I trusted completely. And my message was about extreme gratitude, about being of service to other people. It wasn't, oh, look at me and I want you to see what I've done. It was like, who cares? During the pandemic, people couldn't find toilet paper. They couldn't find staples. They couldn't find the things that they needed. So as a result, I said, you need to practice extreme gratitude. Thank the electric company. Thank the internet company. You need to thank that you have a bed. You need to thank that you're warm. You need to thank that there's food in your refrigerator. You need to thank your stove. You need to thank your car every time you get into it. You need to thank your shower, your sink, your toilet, all these like random things that we just take completely for granted. But I had people emailing me say, that like almost saved my life, because I'm in the middle of like having a nervous breakdown and you're telling me that I just need to stop for a moment. And then once you've stacked like 15, 20 things you see are all there to support you, the water company, they never stopped. They never turned the water company, they never turned the water on. So we had all of these beautiful things that were there to support us. And in the first world, it was those other things that, yes, didn't deny, it didn't take away any of the tragedy that was happening at the moment. But if you could just stay in the moment, and then my friends and I, we played games with like, who can find toilet paper first? Who can find eggs? Who can find this kind of stuff? We made it into a game. And then when we had more, we shared with each other. It was those kind of things of where that to me is being a service center leader. And one of the things I love is the platinum rule. You don't do unto others that you want to have them do unto you. You treat others the way they want to be treated. And that's to me, my biggest gift is being able to find
gold to platinum.
Yes. And showing them what their superpower is. And when you let your clients fall in love with themselves, they get this googly eyes in their eyes and they're just kind of looking at you. It's all like this wet thing, but they've been seen and heard and loved and accepted, which is on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs of what we all need. And then they can go off and do and have their dream job and have their everything that they want because they fell in love with themselves, because I helped to pull that out of them. Because I'm not always about like, love and light. It's got to be like, if you always know that the goal is to be able to help you, whatever your goal is, and we're going to always focus on that, then the criticism and the things that are being brought forward are being brought forward through love, but it's in service to your highest version of yourself. Because if you hadn't done that by yourself, you wouldn't be coming to me to help you to get to that next level.
Amen, sister. I want to back up because you talk like California. You know that. Because not like we Southerners down here. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And when I get somebody who taught, because you've got so much in you. What did you say? The heart-shaped entrepreneur? Is that what you called it?
Heart-centered conscious entrepreneur. I don't know if anyone said that before, but that's my favorite. Those are my favorite kind of people. Those are the tribes that I've been calling for it in the last year. And I've been working with some of the most amazing top people around the world, because when we're always resonating, like Dame Doria Cordoba is a perfect example of a heart-centered conscious. She is the OGs of the OGs, but she has not ever stopped giving of herself and her heart. And she's all about win for everybody. If there's anything, and she taught me that in business, if there's anything of where there's any losers in any side of business, I don't do it. No. It's got to be win energetically for everybody. So when you're heart-centered and you're wanting to bring this out, your message to like your community and to be of service to all those people that are around you. And then when I work with a CEO, if that person has 50,000 people under them, everything that I do is like Niagara Falls. It trickles down into the organization. So it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing. And you are just a beautiful soul. And I can truthfully say, I don't even remember. I think we were doing this other networking thing in January with Jen and Chris, if I can recall. It seems like it was just yesterday, but now it's 2 months later. And all of a sudden I popped up on your Telegram feed. I'm going, oh, she's way cool. And then you said, I just love you. And I'm going, just thank you, Barbie, for finding me. That was, I guess it was probably the extra hair in the fly swatters that we have on our eye, fly swatters, as Les Brown calls them. So it must have been that, but we just have been kindred spirits and you know, ever since. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my soul and my heart. And as we say down south, you know, we thank people from our toenails all the way past our gizzards. Okay. And just by my toenails, that you found some great women that I had never experienced to be a part of our collective consciousness. As you said, the power of a woman, ignite your life and your life for women's health. Because as I said last Wednesday, and I just did a solo state of your health. We now as women have passed the number of heart attacks per capita in North America past men. Did I ever think that was going to happen? Because we have let our hearts break figuratively and literally. So it's just not Uncle Harry died of a heart attack. Now it's Aunt Harriet as well. And so just when you said heart-centered, conscious entrepreneur, let's go from the heart and just say, I just wanted to tell everybody, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life and partnering to put this event together. So what has this meant to you on the flip side, Barbie?
Well, I just want to let you know how we got connected. So I saw you on the Ignite the Hunger Within You book tour. So that's where I first saw you. And I remember I just fell in love with you because you are one of a kind. You just are out there, just bold and brash. And I just love it. And you were just, I think you said something, you're not a young fried chicken or something like that. It was just so cute the way you kind of like have these little sayings. And, you know, your connection. And then it was funny because I had signed up for the VIP for the Ignite Your Hunger Summit. And then I got the book in the mail and it was from your mailbox, or you had a little sticker on it. And I was like, yep, I'm going to talk to her at one point in the next month or so. And then bing, bang, boom, you were on the BC and Accelerator. And then I saw that you were on there and I just thought, you know what, for all of us that are looking for media things, let's just connect together and just make a little group and see if we can cheerlead each other. Because if you're not in this media space, and you're talking about manifest, there's nothing wrong with like you're manifesting for your laws, you know, for your legal, for your dental services, there's nothing wrong with manifesting on that. But when you're telling people like, you know, I'm going to be on national TV and I just had Ken Honda that I just interviewed and I'm talking, you know, like for you, I'm talking to Les Brown and his daughters are on my summit. And then you're doing this. Not everybody can relate to that. And that's okay. No shade on them, but I think it's important that those birds of a feather flock together, where I wanted it to be a space of where we can celebrate each other, where you're like, oh, you know, Good Day LA. Oh, today, you know, the Today Show, Good Morning America, Joe Rogan, Kelly Clarkson, whatever it is, celebrate each other. Because I think that's the biggest thing with also the power of a woman. We tear down all the time. Women are always on the tear down because they have this scarcity mindset that there's only enough men, only enough money, only enough jobs, only enough this, only that. There's enough for everybody. If we focus on the abundance mindset, and I look at you and I say, Jody, good, you go. I'm so happy about what you're doing. Go build yourself an empire. And then you turn back and you do that same thing to me. We uplift and cheerlead and edify each other. And then from there, it's that Gulf Stream. It's what the eagles fly on. It's that wind that's warm where they don't even have to flap their wings anymore. They're just coasting because they got it and they're at the highest level they possibly can. So if we can all uplift each other to be the very best versions that we can be of ourselves, and then also to be of service to others, to me, there's almost like, that's like candy. It's like the whole, I'm a super connector. I love to connect people. So when you were like, oh, would you like to, like help me to find some people for this? It's like, I mean, I just set up a birthday party for a friend, and it's like for a TV executive, and I had so many people. He's like, okay, I have to cut you off. I only have 25 spots at the restaurant. So, so it's like, don't ask me to like hook you up with people, because I'll come with people.
You came with people, and it's this my latest favorite book of 2022. I just want to put this here. Yes, The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wallace. It's that abundance mindset. We are rising each other's ships, and I'm telling you, I just want to spend a moment. And yes, this run sheet. If you're looking to say, why should I come to this thing? Well, because there are 3 sheets of people here besides Barbie and Jody. JB Owen, as you mentioned, in the spiritual pillar, Renee Cunningham, Sandra Horton, Laura Oblon, who comes from an absolute blue blood 3rd generation of MLMer. She just has out there, I am in love with MLM, talking about the spiritual mindset. Ashley Patterson, Diana Lockett, and Sabrina Brown Travis, Les Brown's oldest daughter. So let's just take 30 seconds. Tell me what you got in the spiritual about those women.
Well, ultimately, it's them being able to follow their own path. It's the being able to follow the intuition and being able to know exactly what the next step is, because it's the kind of thing of where I've been trained that the what and the why is your job to figure out, but the how is the universe's job. So that's the part, I think, with the spiritual, where when you really open yourself into an intentionality, in the sense of where if something comes through for you, like for example, my first guest on my TV show was a billionaire named Naveen Jain. He's a mystic. He's an amazing person. He works with Elon Musk and SpaceX, and he lives on Mosquito Island with Richard Branson. But he's so humble. And ultimately, he told me, he said, you know what, if you came into my inbox and you were meant to be, that I was supposed to be, talking to you, we were supposed to have an interview, I know that the universe is benevolent and it wants the best for me. And I never forgot that lesson, that it's the kind of thing about where we are the manifestation of each other's dreams. And from that perspective, all of these people that have come forward, each one of them has a specific message that is specific to what somebody needs to hear in that moment. And by having a summit and having more than 20 different guests, even the men that are going to come on are going to talk about the way that they love women. Like Christopher Lemke, my partner, he's going to be talking about the fact he has 2 daughters and how he's a conscious parent for that.
Well, let's go ahead and we're going to go through each. Yeah, let's go through each one, because I really do want to. That's the spiritual, because we could talk forever. I'm looking at our time here. Physical. We've got a naturopathic doctor, Moira Lavelle. I know her story well. You've got your best friend now. She's mine shared, Halima Frazira, and Melanie Summers, Patricia Bishop. Both of those I've had the presence of, and just pleasure of coaching in the physical realm in health coaching. Dr. Terry Irwin, who's a gynecologist. Yes. And then Dr. Jody, Dr. Yasmin, well, is starting the physical. So what do you say, you, as Doria would say, Dame Doria, what say you intuitively about this physical pillar, Barbie?
Well, I know a lot of them are going to come at it from different angles. They're going to come at it from the perspective of the physical body, but then also with the nourishment of the food. So having the opportunity to be able to be intentional as to the things that you put into your body, and then also the way you move it, so that you have the opportunity to be able to utilize it as the tool that a lot of times it is, because we have a body, but we are not our body. So I think that's an important thing with the physical.
Wisdom. And like I already jumped the gun with Dr. Yasmin, and Dr. Yasmin said, very, very well. And a psychologist, Georgia Vanderbilt, Jane Williams, see, you've got one in every single pillar. You Wonder Woman, Angela Lee, who is one of the Ignite authors, the book Ignite Your Health for Women has just relaunched, and I've got to just give a shout out to JB Owen, because they will be having on Ignite.tv their reunion, because that was their first book. Now, since the pandemic, Barbie, they've written, I'm in the 19th book. Is that crazy? 19th, all international bestsellers. So Angela Lee, and then in the mental pillar, none other than the legend himself, Les Brown. Let's talk about mental, Barbie.
Absolutely. Well, that's something like, for example, with Dr. Yasmin, she will go everything back to psychology, but she'll state to you that everything has to do with love. And ultimately, Jane has worked in the industry in regards to doing Reiki and other types of healing modalities as well, but also knowing that your, mind, body, spirit have to be aligned. And I know Angela, I've had the pleasure of meeting. I'm going to be spending time with her and her fiance, Richard Kay, in April with David Fagan at their publicity boot camp, which will be exciting. And a lot of those people are really talking about the fact that when you have that alignment of all those things of where your mental is your thought patterns, but then there's also the opportunity to have those things of where you're at a higher frequency of where you're able to allow all those things that are mental to be able to come forward in a really, really easy way, as opposed to constantly thinking like I have to think harder and harder and work harder and do more and et cetera, et cetera. So they're going to talk about tips to be able to kind of like help you kind of relax yourself and kind of get more into the flow state. So that's what I see what they're going to be doing.
And frankly, my goodness gracious, and who knows, if Les Brown just says hello, it's a memory, right? It's like, just hello. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I mean, that's what you do with a giant like that. And let me see now, who is starting out this emotional pillar? Is her name Barbie Layton? Oh, well, you know what she's going to bring. And then Erin Hernandez Reisner, that I know from the Selfie School, and what she does as award-winning photographer. Steph Elliott, I've had the pleasure of working with Unite. And then your bestie, Bethany London, thank you for introducing her to me, and Stacy Seller, Ignite author in the emotional. So you can say more about that. I would let you talk forever if we had more time. Go ahead. Give us what you got on emotional.
Well, I think the most important thing for emotional is the fact that you're in charge of your vibrational frequency. So a lot of times it's not what I was talking about before with the extreme gratitude. You being able to flip the switch in the sense of where it's like, okay, yes, something really terrible might be happening to you at the moment, or you might be in fear, you might be scared, you might not want to be at work, you might be bored, tired, cranky, whatever it is. But by the same token, you can think a different thought and you can go into a different space. And emotionally, it's an important thing. However, you also don't go into spiritual bypass. So I know a lot of people in this category you're talking about will talk about getting into alignment with your emotions, because ultimately they do need to be expressed. Anger is not something you should be afraid of. You can't just namaste, love, and light everything away. You do have to be able to go into the fact that here is my emotional situation. I am feeling triggered. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling angry. But it's also being able to express your boundaries. And then from that perspective, you don't have to get crazy about it or super dramatic, but it's still acknowledgement of those things. And then from acknowledgement, you can allow those things to dissipate. So that's what I think is really important, of choosing your vibration in any moment and asking yourself, is this serving me, or is this serving like the story that I've been telling myself for a long time? Because I know a lot of clients that I talk to, they're stuck in the story, and it's until you release that story about your emotional, who you are. I mean, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, but ultimately that's not my message. My message is not about my past and going into the victim Olympics. My message is literally about, okay, this all happened to me, but what did I just choose to do with it now? What emotionally can I go forward with? And people will always talk about the Maya Angelou quote, people don't remember what you said, like you said with Les Brown saying hello. People don't remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. And if I have people that get off a call with me or a thing and they say, oh my God, I feel like energized and inspired and happy. It's like, if that's what my personality or just me being around does for somebody, that's an amazing gift that I could just give by being around and stepping into this high frequency energy. Because I'm not like this 24 hours a day. You'd burn yourself out. But by the same token, it's like I'm bringing my laser focused best version of myself to be able to share with the audience, because to me, it's important for us to see the very best version that we can be of ourselves in whatever moment we are living in.
True. And then you go down into yin, and then you bring up the yang, yin and yang. We talked about that on the Teeter Totter today on Clubhouse. So just wisdom. I mean, did I say wisdom? Did I say wisdom? And then we go into social, and we start out with Forbes. Well, enough said. Annie Liebran, who is from Germany, and she's written in the book along with Rosalind Palmer, famous coach. And then one of Les's other daughters, and Sumaya, he has 3. So we've got the baby daughter, and your Christopher Lemke. I'm so grateful. I got to meet him we're doing this is, okay, you just got to know this, Barbie. We are doing a seminar on healing on the 29th. And I didn't even know that he was going to be a part of that with this UK group. We show up on a Zoom. I'm going, oh, that's Christopher Lemke. That's Barbie. Hi. We got to meet each other. See how that just works, because it's healing. We are healing humanity. So Christopher, remember I said it was Power of a Woman. It is Jay Nolan's best-selling book, The Power of a Woman, from the perspective of a real man. He is a real man. And then Lina Torres Noland, Jay's wonderful soulmate wife, is finishing up the social pillar. So give us what you got there.
Well, I think with the social, a lot of it is really in the sense of where people are craving deep connection. And someone like Forbes Riley, who has, I think something like more than 2 million followers, that, she's been around for many, many decades with doing the things that she's doing. But when you have the ability to be able to connect people and have what I call the universal connect the dots, it's like you're a master connector in that sense. And people are really, really craving right now the authenticity and the realness. They want people that are genuine and not giving you the, scripted thing. So I think the best part about them is that they're not going to be talking about an algorithm and how many followers you need to have on Instagram and all this other type of stuff, because that seems to be kind of the focus that a lot of people are going for, because they think it's replicatable. But if you're always doing the duck face and you're doing these other kind of things that are posed, it's not showing the people the vulnerability as to who you truly are. It's just you're doing a formula or, a filter or other things like that. And some of these filters are kind of scary because they don't resemble themselves at all. But I think that having the social is really a great thing, because by having men talk about their perception about women, because we'll have Les and Jay and Peter and Christopher as the 4 men that will be on the panel with the women experience. It's really important for the women to see how the perception is from the perception of a man as to how they perceive women and their relationships to them, because there is so much gold in that. And I think a lot of people, they kind of, there's always kind of been this war of the sexes. And I really hope that at some point in time, we get to a point of where we become harmonized together and know that we need each other. It's like AC and DC and voltage to be able to make electricity. It's like we need each other, and, whatever, floats your boat, that's fine with me. But by the same token, I want to honor men and I want to honor women. And I think by being able to have men on this panel, it allows us to be able to do both.
Can we just coin this phrase right here? It's the harmonization of the sexes. Yes. Gotcha. Give me a high five on that one, girl. I mean, seriously, isn't that? Yeah, high five. Just the harmony of the sexes, because I don't know about you all, but out there, but if I hadn't had my now husband's connection, I would not have these amazing sons. It's about connection. We connect the dots universally. So harmony of the sexes. We might just write another tour on that one. So write that one down, okay, Barbie? That one was golden. And then we're going to finish up, and we'll be over, but we won't be through with financial. Dr. Tyra Good, with her background in financial education, and then Dame Doria Cordoba. I've got her book right here, Money and You, Your Access to Cash, and her other one that is coming. Oh, well, you know how these green screens are, but it's here. And then we've got Jay Nolan, the executive coach, author, trainer, my mentor, and the author of Power of a Woman from the Perspective of Real Men. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he wrote that book because he thought his wife, Lina, was having a girl. And then they found out that Kaya's a boy. So this book was inspired, but he waited with it. He incubated it for all these many years until it was birthed. So that is what we're going to be talking about, that financial pillar, because it's just really important. And then with an end note speaker. So what kind of wisdom do you have about that financial pillar? I know you have a lot.
Oh, I think it's super, super important. I think that you need to have a financially abundant mindset. I'm in the Women Gone Wild bestseller. It's called the Wealth Edition, and specifically about the fact that, having been brought up in Malibu, it was like I was always wealth adjacent. I never was one of the, ones with the Rolls Royces or the Ferraris or things like that. But, you saw celebrities all over the place and multi-million-dollar homes and things like that. But I think, it's that opportunity with financial in the sense of where you see things from a different perspective, that nowadays the life expectancy for anybody, including women generally outlive men right now, but the life expectancy is generally something where women are not necessarily prepared financially for what's to come with Social Security and the other things that they have at this moment. So being financially abundant of where, I mean, Dame Doria talks all about having passive and active streams of income and having affiliate links and having all sorts of different things. You were talking about LMMs. There's so many different ways to be able to fortify what you're doing financially, to be able to allow yourself that before you woke up in the morning, you've just manifested, thousands of dollars. But that's also in the sense of where you pour into other people. And so when you listen to different people, I mean, that's a big group of different people that have financial perspectives. But again, when you can listen to different people's perspectives, you can see which things work for you. And it's not for, it's for everybody. Anybody can go in and find out about financial planning, what they need to come forward with, and what they need for life insurance, whatever those kind of things that people don't always want to think about. And there's actually books about poverty mindset that talks about in poverty mindset, you oftentimes you blow the money that you have right, very, very quickly, because you think to yourself that, you're not going to have it the next day. And that's the part about this kind of stuff of our financials need to be a word sustainable and it's attainable, but you're not basically risking your mortgage. You're not risking your rent. You're not risking your basics. But then from there, I love to play in the field of manifestation and gamification. Anything that's above that, right now I have a big 5-ticket, investment that's supposed to be coming any day. That's going to be able to help me to be able to fund the contracts that I have for beautiful opportunities that I've been invited to do later on as well. So these are the kind of things of where you're playing in this miracle space, and all of those people are playing in that high level too, in the sense of where there's no shame in being wealthy, provided that you are a person who is a beautiful steward of wealth and abundance. That's what, to me, I think is really, really important, in the sense of where it's not, oh, what can I do for myself? Because even my perspective is the fact that, like what you do with the charities in Colombia and what JB Owen does in Cambodia and other places like that too. I think it's really, really important that people who make over $100,000, 10% of the money they give away, they tithe to some charity or an organization. But I would love to be able to be the person that makes that decision as to where my money goes to and what my cause celebrate is, and what I want to think, as opposed to the government. I would really rather say, I want to help women. I mean, human trafficking is one of those things that I would really love to spend millions of dollars having that eradicated off the planet. So if I have millions of dollars, I can help to be able to put, money into funds that are able to help people with that.
Oh, and the chat, I've got to tell you, the chat on Facebook is just blowing up. Like, I'm not surprised. It's the powerful platform, and it's really, really true. I know that. Being 68 years old, Barbie, it's social insecurity. How do I look like a woman that can get along on $1,900 a month? I don't think so. Social insecurity. What do you do? Where do you go? Precision. It's never too late to create her dream. I mean, Barbie, this year I got my PhD, finished it up in 2021, did the coursework in 99. That was a different century ago. It just happened that's the way that I defended my dissertation. One of the things, I blew the mothballs off when it was during COVID. I said, I'm doing this. And when my son said to me, Ma, at least you finished up before you were Grandma Moses' age, I said, correct. So it's really okay. Your dreams can come at any age. And look at Dame Doria. She and I are contemporaries. And I can just tell you, Barbie, I could go on and listen to you forever. What a pleasure. Your wisdom, your heart, just your mind, your soul. And it just absolutely is amazing. I mean, you've got enough going on to make even this type A going, oh, time for some meditation, and I think if you had one word to just tie this all up, what drives you to this excellence? What drives you? Because you are a driven, heart-centered woman. What drives you?
I'm very, very driven, but you know what? It's the fact that we don't know when we get the punch card punched. So guess what? I want to make it count. I want to make it count. I want to leave a legacy. I didn't choose to have children of my own in this lifetime. So therefore, I am someone of where I consider myself to be a Mother Earth, of where it's like, if I can spread my message of joy and wonder and have people fall in love with themselves, become the VIP of their lives, and help that and have it go into millions. I call them Barbie bubbles. My meditations, I just float Barbie bubbles, little holographic Barbie bubbles, millions of them all over the world every single day. Because ultimately, if we can all be kind to each other and spread a kindness revolution, and I can be a part of that, and people, when they look back and they say, you know what, that lady, she really cared about the people of this earth, even though a lot of times they didn't treat her very nicely. But ultimately, she still kept her heart as open as possible to be of service as many people as possible. And she had fun doing it. That to me would be the most beautiful thing that someone could say about me.
And where do they find you except everywhere? You have your own TV network. And I know that since we were screwing around to make this happen, but we made it happen, didn't we? And I would like to know what your IG handle is. And also, thirdly, if you have a free or paid offer, please share.
I do have a free offer. So if you go to amethystchamber.com and you click in Ignite Your Fire, you will get a 15-minute soul print energy clearing session to be able to sample that as to what that feels like when I'm able to call in your source energy to be able to like funnel that through your body and zhuzh you up and get you up to over 500 hertz on the solfeggio frequency tone. And you can find me on the bestyou.tv under You're Amazing. I'm now in season 2. I've just wrapped up my 32nd interview, and Jody's going to be 33 next Monday. So I'm excited to interview you next week as well. And I'm also going to be on Rhonda Swan's GetWildNetwork.com as well. So I'm really excited about that. And I don't have Instagram. All of the stuff that I've created in the last 2 years has been by word of mouth. I have one little Facebook page. You can friend me on Facebook if you want, but I did not do the social media route. I made this about my heart and connecting myself and opening up myself and saying, whatever you want from me, please show it for me. But when it comes, you need to say yes to it. You can't say, oh, I don't like it because it didn't look like this and it looked like that and I wanted it like this. No, if you put it out there to the universe and you say, this is what I want, and it comes to you, say yes. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to a better life. Because if you don't like the life you're living, keep saying yes until you like the one that you are.
Oh, I mean, for real, for real. Yes stands for you are exceptional and special. You are exceptional and special. And you say this, you do this VIP clearing. Well, Barbie, I got one for you. I just got a download. You are a VIB. You're a very important Barbie. There's not another one like you. Intuitive. Into you, I see. Into you, I see me. You see me. And together will be a better world after Saturday because of you. This event is having that excellence level because of you in my life in the last 2 months. I will never be the same. I will never go back to that different version. That's why we need each other. Barbie Layton, thank you for gracing life's milkshake moments. I can see this milkshake it was a mountain of whipped cream with that cherry on top and every single sprinkle that you could ever imagine. So thank you so much. I'm going to wound things up. And as I always say, this is my heart with the left on your left heart with the left hand, and your heart's here. And then you put the right one over. Your heart be so much stronger because you and I are together. Yes. Thank you, Barbie Layton. Much love.
Thank you.
So we'll be right back. We're going to redo these commercials because I've got even more for you. Let's go. Okay, the one over my right shoulder is The Power of a Woman from the Perspective of Real Men by Noland. Okay, this book, ladies and gentlemen, you can pick up through the Power of a Woman book, thepowerofawomanbook.com. When you do this straight from the author, you have an opportunity to get over $1,100 worth of free coaching, training, social media platforms, events. It is extraordinary. And right now, with Ignite Publishing, which is this original book, Ignite You in Life for Women. This was my Ignite book with Les Brown. That was number 18. I will be in Ignite Wisdom number 19. This was number 1, their 3rd anniversary. Go and experience Ignite.tv, Ignite.tv tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. It will be amazing. It will be an amazing event to hear this journey of these authors in this first book, this groundbreaking book, how they came through to do, how they came through to be, how they came through to ignite even further women's life and health. And I know that there's a special offer when you come to the summit. I know that there are tons of free goodies. The event is free. It's on YouTube as well, Ignite YouTube channel. But there are free offers, free downloads, and you can get a discounted version of that book too. So remember, our event, The Power of a Woman, Ignite You for Women's Health. It is a free event, but if you go to Power or Women Power, I'll get it right, womenpower.life. In there is a donation button, and it's going to be these 3 charities. Number 1, it's the Ignite charity, the Cambodia School of Hope, that we are building out of recyclable material schools in Cambodia. And every single $10 donation is going towards that brick. So we just need $50,000, 50,000 bricks for this school. And then with the Fundación de Ropa Chagres Sobre, with the elderly coming together with the orphans in Colombia, 2nd charity, and then my charity, the St. John's Women's Refuge in Florida, with doing and good things for women with 5% recidivism rate for the last 15 years. So donate, be there, be a part, and be a part of my offering with our mastermind, 5 days to pristine clean. It is now been postponed because of spring break. Needed to reschedule. Jody, please hold off. So I said, okay, fine, no problem. You've still got an opportunity this next 2 weeks to get your buy one, get one free. Just DM me at Health Coach Jody. DM me and I'll give you the information with that. And then you'll be able to not only get that, but you will also get the VIP treatment and all of the things that have been listed previously. It's April 4th through 9th, that's Saturday. And next week, we will be coming into the spiritual after it, and they'll be coming in on Saturday to the physical. We'll be coming in to emotional and also mental and social. And I just decided, why not end and have a double financial? Hear from another real man. We're going to be hearing from Doria Cordoba, Dame Doria Cordoba, and then Jay Noland, my special friend, my colleague, and just a man's man, Josh Payne. We call him the financial fireman. He will be my guest on Life's Milkshake Moment. Get ready. Fasten your seatbelt. You will have the keys to the kingdom, no matter what economy it is, because it is necessary, as Les Brown says, that only you can do what you can do. Know that it is you and no one else. So remember Saturday. I've said it like 10,000 times, but just remember Saturday. Bring a friend. The life you may change may be your own, but it may be the life of another. Events.kpmedia.tv. It's events.kpmedia.tv. And then just be apart from noon to 6:30 p.m. And just remember during this time to listen to the whispers of your own wisdom. For in those whispers there is life. And in that life, there is hope. Go check out womenpowered.life/donations. And remember, you can always find me on healthcoachjody.com. That's Jody with 2 E's, on social media at Health Coach Jody. If you want to do old school, it's my 800 number, 800-820-0850. But remember that health isn't something you do, it's who you are along life's journey. Because then life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, as the incomparable Barbie Layton said today, intuitively, your life will be oh so sweet. So until next Wednesday, this is Dr. J saying, have a healthy day.